All right. If you could just let me know in Slack if we're live on YouTube. I think we are. But we're going to get this webinar started in just a minute. If you could just let me know. All right. Yeah, it looks like that is live. So the camera I'm using is a Panasonic Lumix G7. I think I fixed it, but if it freezes on me or anything like that, let me know. Cool. Thank you, Kathy. All right. Well, I'm going to hit record and get this party started. Sure. Oh, there we go. Start right on time. Hello and welcome to this training on how to build a WordPress LMS website from complete scratch with no steps skipped. I'm Chris Badgett, co-founder of Lifter LMS, and we're going to be building an online course website from complete scratch to show you how it works. This is also an opportunity for you to ask questions. If you have any questions about Lifter or how to kind of put your website together, put the platform together, pricing and getting the business model you want to happen and all that stuff, nothing is off limits. There's a Q&A box here in Zoom. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can drop comments and we'll be keeping an eye on those comments in YouTube as well. And this will be recorded if you want to go back and revisit it or follow along and build one right beside me at another time. So that will be available later as a replay, and we'll send you a link to that. Also, we're going to be doing a giveaway. So one lucky winner who's live on this call will get a $99 add-on, a year of $99 add-on of your choice for free. And if you are already a customer, we will just extend the value of the license that you have by that amount. Or if you want to apply that $99 as a discount against something else, you can do that as well. But welcome everyone to the call. So far, we've got Janet, John, Karen, Lillian, Moore, Peter, Shelley, and Viorica on the call. I'm going to start sharing my screen. We're going to jump into it, and feel free to ask questions as I go. And just one thing before I get started, I like to make these trainings super relevant. So I'd like to ask for an example from the audience about what industry you're in or what niche, or if you want to see me build a certain type of course, just as an example to make the example more real, like a fitness course or a nutrition course or, some kind of business course or parenting course, whatever. Somebody give me an idea in the comments of what kind of website you want me to build, and we will do it. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Viorica is saying a personal brand, digital marketing. Cool, we can do that. So the very first spot, I just like to take it from completely on the beginning when you build a WordPress LMS website. When you have WordPress installed, this is what it looks like when you first get started with it. There's no extra plugins or anything on this website. We're going to start at the absolute beginning. So what I've done is I have gone over to lifterlms.com, and over here on the pricing page, we're gonna build this out with the Lifter LMS Infinity Bundle, which is everything we make. And we've got 3 new add-ons coming into the Infinity Bundle here very soon that I'm writing a blog post on. So if you're interested in things like groups or advanced video or custom fields for your courses, we're gonna have more coming about that and when those are coming out. But all the Lifter LMS, learning management system, course, membership features are in there. We've got the e-commerce add-ons. The most common combination is people use Lifter LMS Stripe and Lifter LMS PayPal together. Some people choose to use WooCommerce as the payment gateway, or not the payment gateway, more the shopping cart, which you can do as well. And we've got our email marketing integrations, form integrations, text messaging through Twilio. And this is where we get into the Infinity Bundle stuff. We've got the advanced quizzing system, the assignment system, the private coaching system, social learning system. And if you're into a really direct help, live screen sharing help, and a mastermind environment, we create that every week in the Lift Your LMS office hours mastermind. That's all part of the Infinity Bundle. But I've just purchased that over here. And to get started, the first things we're going to need to do is we're going to download Lift Your LMS there. And we're going to download the helper, which is what manages our license system and allows us to just activate the premium add-ons from inside our website. So let me grab my license key. And before we do that, I'm just going to get this ready for my Infinity Bundle. And head over to my website and let's get this party started. So I'm going to go in the back of WordPress to the dashboard, and I'm going to go to plugins, and I'm going to click add new. I'm going to upload Lift Your LMS. Let's see. Right here. And I'm going to activate it. And it's going to take me through the quick setup wizard, which just kind of gets a few pages built out on your site. So it's going to create the course catalog, the membership catalog, the checkout system, and the student dashboard. So that's done. I'm going to sell located in the United States, and I'm going to sell in US dollars. I'm going to enable offline payments. Save and continue. You can also get a coupon. I'm just going to skip that part, and I'm going to go ahead and install a sample course. All right, so this is the Lift Your LMS sample course. We'll look at that in a second, but you can see these menu items over here: Lift Your LMS, memberships, engagements, orders. This is all the Lift Your LMS items over here. And I'm going to go back into my plugins, and I'm going to install the Lift Your LMS helper so I can activate my license and start adding some of the premium add-ons. So I've got that installed. I'm going to go to Lift Your LMS settings. Actually, the add-ons and more right here. And I'm going to activate my license key. And you'll see that these the buttons are going to change down here. All right, so now I can install whatever I want directly from here. So I'm going to do, since we're doing a digital marketing course, thank you, Viorica, for the suggestion. I'm going to do like a $1,000 course with a $10,000 coaching upsell. So I'm going to need private areas for the private coaching upsell. So I'm going to install that. And I am going to have some social learning components going on my website. I'm going to install that. I'm going to install Stripe PayPal. And I'm going to do advanced quizzes and assignments. I'm going to integrate with MailChimp. And I'm going to do some stuff with Ninja Forms. So I'm going to activate those 7 premium add-ons. And then as this is loading, we're going to go look at the front end of the website. I'm going to get a different theme to use and demonstrate what I'm talking about there. So if we go to the front of this website, you can see here, we've got our course. This is like the sample course. This particular theme doesn't look very good with, it's not really meant for courses or whatever. So I'm going to install what has recently been the most popular theme in the Lifter LMS community, which is called Astra. So I'm going to go to Appearance, Themes. And Viorica, you will get this as a recording. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to add new. And I'm going to search for Astra. I'm going to install that and activate it. And if we look at the site, it's starting to come together, look a little better. And let's let's start cleaning things up a little bit, and we'll get the sidebars going. So I'm going to go in the back here. One of the neat things about Astra, if you go to Appearance, Astra, Options, they have some Lifter LMS specific functionality built in, which is pretty cool. So as an example, here in the customizer, you can see Lifter LMS shows up here. It's aware that Lifter LMS is here, and it has some features. There is a pro version of Lifter LMS or of Astra that gives you more Lifter LMS settings and options, which is pretty cool. But we're just going to do the basics for today. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually just give it a title. I'm not going to get into like logo design and stuff like that, but so site identity, I'm going to call this Digital Marketing Academy. And publish that. And then let me get my lorem ipsum thing. So we're going to create a new page. We're going to create like an actual home page. I'm just going to call it Welcome to DMA. And I'm not going to get really into building custom content. But this is kind of our welcome page. I'm going to add another page, the about page, about me, and I'm going to do a couple of columns here. I put some content over there. And right here, I'm going to add an image. So this is I'm going to publish that. So, and then I'm going to add one more page. And this is going to be our contact page. And I'm actually going to go in here and add another plugin called Ninja Forms. And Lifter works with, has some features for Ninja, Gravity, Formidable, and WP forms. So I'm just using Ninja in this demonstration, but pretty much every website needs a contact form. And then we have our integrations allow you to use those forms to create custom registration forms for your platform, or also to require people to complete a form before they can complete a lesson. So, and Yogesh is asking on YouTube if Lifter LMS has a REST API, and we do have an API. We're working on the REST API right now as we speak, and which is going to that's our next major release. And in that, we're also going to be releasing a real Zapier integration with that API capabilities, which helps both developers and other people building products on top of Lifter LMS and the Lifter LMS team to develop faster and more powerful integrations. So REST API is coming very soon. And if you're not, I would subscribe to our blog, and you'll see the release dates and everything in a post that's rolling out very soon. So let me go back to my pages. So I just put the contact form in there. All right. So if we look at our site, it's kind of, there's pages, there's menus all over the place. We got a sidebar there. The home page is not our home page. We're just going to clean that up, get the sidebars working, and then we're going to jump right into the course creation process. So bear with me while I clean this up. So I go to Appearance, Menus. And my goal here is, when you're just starting out, especially, a website has a home, an about, a contact page, and possibly a blog, but that's not necessary. And then when you add courses, there's a few more key pages, and that's what we're going to build out right here. So I'm going to call this the main menu. And we're going to add the welcome page, the about page. We're going to add the course catalog. We're going to have a contact page. And then we're going to have the student dashboard, because each user gets their own account and, you know, their own view of the dashboard based on what they have purchased. So then there's a little power trick in here. If you open this up, the screen options, and you turn on Lifter LMS, there are some Lifter LMS specific links that you could choose to add to your menu or anywhere else on your website. But I'm going to put in the sign in, sign out link, which will display conditionally based on what, you know, if they're logged in or not. So in my theme, I'm letting them know this is a primary menu. I'm going to change this to say home on the menu. I'm going to change this to just say about. I'm going to change this to say courses. And dashboard. Yep, this looks good. So I'm going to save that. And now if we look up here, our menu is cleaning up there. And you can see we've got our home page. I'm just going to make that a little different. With this theme, you can, control the sidebars lots of different ways. And then over here in settings, reading, I'm just telling my website that my home page is a static page and I want it to be the welcome page. And I'm not setting up a blog, so I'm just going to leave that blank. So now when we go to the home page, the welcome page is there. And just because we're going to be clicking on a little bit, I'm just going to kill the sidebar on that page as well. And while that's loading, if anybody has any questions, feel free to let me know. Let me try reloading that. There we go. So no sidebar. Karen's doing consulting for business management. Very cool. I'm already off and running with the digital marketing theme, so I'm gonna hang with that. But thank you for posting something in the Q&A box. All right. So we are live. We've got our home, our about, our courses. This is the sample course. We have our contact page. And we have the dashboard over there, which we'll look at in just a moment. So there's our contact page, the dashboard. There's no data in here yet, so it looks kind of plain, and I could click that link to sign out. Now, if we look at the courses, the next thing we're going to fix is we've got I'm just going to kind of break down some of these components for you. This is the course featured image. This is the course title. This is the course description. There's a bunch of course information or metadata that can go with a course that shows up in this box if you enter data related to it. This is our custom course instructor. All this can be customized. This is an access plan. So right now, this is just a free course with one access plan, but you could have a pricing table here with multiple price points and any kind of pricing strategy. These are the course syllabus down here with the sections and lessons. And I'm just going to show you what an option you can do over here with the sidebar if you want to use the sidebar. So in appearance widgets, we're going to set up the course sidebars. So I'm going to add the course progress bar widget. So you get this when you install Lifter LMS. This does all the progress tracking. And the syllabus here is kind of the lessons list. So we'll save that. And to your question more, I'm not going to get super deep into Elementor or Beaver Builder. But if you have specific questions about them, I'm happy to kind of touch on it. And there's a Elementor integration with Lifter coming very soon that I was just talking to the creator of that. I'm really excited about that. I think the Elementor users are really going to love that. That's literally about to roll out very soon. And that's going to do a lot of different things, which I can touch on. So let me just finish setting this up. And I'm going to make these collapsible and display open and close toggles. You'll see what that looks like in a second. So now on the course page, we set up the sidebar. So this is where the progress bar is and the syllabus. And, you know, if a student's actually in this course, they can see what, you know, where they left off and, you know, what they've completed and all that kind of thing. And if we go into the lesson level, you can see we're set up here with a video lesson. This is that collapsible syllabus here. Just allows people to have more focus on just the section they're on or open and close as needed. So that's what that option does there. But that's really the basic setup of, you know, plain Jane Lifter LMS. Now let's build our first course. So if we go to courses, you know, this is that sample course, but I'm going to add a new one. Clicking on new course. And I'm just calling it Digital Marketing Mastery. And I'm just going to put a little data in there. And one of the things I like to do, do I have any categories here? I'll just add a new category. So we can just see some of the metadata showing up. And then difficulties. I'm just going to call this beginner. And we'll go ahead and publish this course. And one thing I like to do just for a demonstration, there's a site I like to use called LibreStock. Which is like free, royalty-free, okay for commercial reuse photos. So we'll just do see what we get when we search for laptop business. We'll do this one. And just because I like seeing people have fast websites, a lot of images are way too big that people upload to their website. So I'm just going to go to this website called Tiny PNG. I think that's what it's called. And for a public service announcement, I'm going to upload this thing. And you can see right now, this is 4 megabyte file. I see your question, Peter. We'll do a free course with minimal sign up in just a sec. So it's compressing that. It's so big, it's taking the Panda some time to, you know, actually make this photo smaller. There's nothing more you can do to slow down your website than upload a giant image. There we go. So we decreased it from 4 megabytes to 654 kilobytes. Just download it straight up. There we go. So if I go to the course here, the featured image right here, there it is, small. And you'll see it uploads quickly to the WordPress media library. If things are taking a long time to upload to your media library, you're setting yourself up for a slow website. So you can see our featured image showed up right here. I'm gonna click update. And then if we look at this, you can see we now have our second course right here coming together. Now, a little pro tip, if you're gonna have more than one course on your website, make your featured images the same size. It'll look a lot more clean and polished. But Lifter is really scalable. You can have a single one course website, or you can have a multi-instructor online school. So there's no right or wrong number of courses, but just throwing that out there. And if we go to this course, you can see what we've done so far. We've got the image, the title, the description, some metadata, but we don't have any lessons yet. So let me just show you the course builder, and then we'll get into your question, Peter, about the access plans. And so Matthias on YouTube is asking, what is the difference between Lifter LMS and LearnPress? And the answer is, I have no idea because I've never used LearnPress. I don't hear a lot of people talking about it, but our focus at Lifter LMS is we focus on the customer, not competition. So if there's another learning management system tool that you've heard about, we probably haven't used it because we focus on just solving problems that our community has. And that's really how we develop products. So I'm not the best person to ask what LearnPress is like, but perhaps you could post that in the Lifter LMS Facebook group. We'll put a link below your comment to join that. And then maybe somebody over there has used both and could speak to that. So if I go to edit this course, we're going to add some lessons here. And I'm just going to turn off comments. I saw there was this discussion area below the course. In this particular demonstration, we're not going to have that, but you can have that on if you'd like. So I'm going to update that. And then the cool thing about Lifter LMS is you can build your entire curriculum from one screen. So the way that starts is you add a section, and you can call these modules or you can call them whatever you want. I'll just demonstrate that. So module 1, and then, we put a lesson in there. I'm gonna have a lesson called orientation. Another lesson where I do an intake survey. And then I'm at module 2. And I'm not going to spend a bunch of time here, but I'm just kind of putting some dummy content in here. So I'm just adding some lessons. And this course builder, you can like drag and drop, move things around, move them between sections and lessons. It's very intuitive in that way. So I'm going to add another section called module 3. And add some content to that. And then I'm going to have one more section I'm just going to call it conclusion and add another lesson. What do next? All right, you can see this saving right there. So if we go look at our course, you can see it's starting to come together here. Oh, it's not done saving yet. I'm on a this is like a test server. It's not very powerful, just for spooling up demo sites and stuff. So it's really slow. So Lifter's typically faster than this if you have good hosting. And I've noticed, by the way, I get asked about it all the time. What is the best hosting to use with Lifter LMS? And what we see as the most popular in our community is Kinsta, WP Engine, and SiteGround being the most economical option. But Lifter LMS does work with, you know, there's a lot of other hosts besides that out there that also work, but just in observation in our community, that's what people are most using. So I'm not sure why it's stalling out there. I might have to just restart that. I'll give it a few more seconds, and if not, I'm just going to start it over there. But I'd love to hear in the comments what you guys use for hosting. John is asking about Cloudways. I haven't used it myself. I haven't had so I don't have a really particular opinion on it. I have seen people using it and liking it, but I don't, it's not on the bad list. Let's put it that way, at least from what I've heard. So yeah, I'm just going to redo this. All right, we're just going to add, where do we leave off here? And okay, there we go. So it's saving now. So I'm on the front, and you can see we've got the syllabus coming together here and the sidebar widgets. It's also down here. And I'm going to show, since we're doing a digital marketing course, I'm going to do the $1,000 course plus with the $10,000 upsell for private coaching. But I do want to demonstrate what Peter was asking for, which is minimal course sign up. So a couple things on that. In the Lifter LMS settings, you have some control over which information you ask for or require people to fill out as they are purchasing or enrolling in a free course. So over here on accounts, on the checkout area, first, last name, address, phone number, email. So at a minimum in WordPress, you need a email and a password. So if you want minimal sign up, I would make the first and last name hidden. I would make the address hidden. I would make the phone number hidden. And I would not have an email confirmation field. And I would do weak passwords, remove the password strength meter. Even though I don't like that, if you want minimal, that's how you get, you reduce the friction of signing up. So I'm going to click Save Changes there. And let's look at what that looks like on the front end. So over here, on our course, I'm going to set up a free access plan. You see how this has a free access plan? We're going to set that up on our new course. So I'm going to edit course. And down here is the access plan area. So I'm going to click add new. And I'm just going to call it free access. I'm customizing the button text, and I'm going to say no payment required on that. And I'm going to click update. And let's view our course. And I'm actually going to open that in a incognito window. So this is a good way to test your website, because when you're logged in as a WordPress administrator, you can go everywhere and do everything, which is so you're not really seeing what the website how it works from the end user's perspective. For example, I can't get into these lessons. You know, I'm locked out. It says sign in instead of sign out. If I try to go to the dashboard, there's a login here. You know, so this is how a visitor off of the internet who randomly found you or found you from the link or whatever is going to experience your website. So using incognito windows for testing are helpful. So what we want to do here is, I'm not seeing my access plan. Let me see what I did. I might not have saved that. Let me go back and fix that. Oh yeah, I didn't save it. Let me free access. No payment required, save. And you can see our access plan right here. And if I wanted to add multiple, like it's really common in a pricing table to have 2 or 3 options, you just add another one that has different terms to it. And we have a really great blog post that we'll put a link to it in the chat, where what are the different pricing models that you can use with Lister LMS. Is very popular, and it really goes into detail about the access plan system and kind of gives you a bunch of ideas if you're trying to figure out the best way to offer your course, depending upon what you offer. So if we go back to our incognito window, you can see our free access is right here. And if I click join, basically this is the minimal thing. They just need to enter their email address, pick a password, and enroll, click the button, and they're in. And then one more thing I might consider adding is, I'm going to go to the course builder here. One of the other things to really reduce friction is to, you can make one of your lessons free, or some of your best lessons. So there's an option down here, the free lesson option, and it says checking this box will allow guests to view the content of this lesson without registering or signing up for the course. So if I do that, this person now you can see how they can't get into all these lessons. They could go take a free sample right here and check out this lesson. We don't have any content in here yet, but that is what that free lesson type does, which further reduces friction and makes it easier for somebody to buy. Now let's look at the setting up of paid access. And I want to welcome Aces English on YouTube, and Matthias, you're welcome. Thanks for the great question. So, and one more thing real quick, there is a feature in Lifter I just want to show you, where you can open an incognito window, but you can also just click on this black bar up here where it says viewing as myself. You could click on view as student, and it's going to adapt, or view as visitor, which is what I was doing in the incognito window, where now you see what the website looks like to somebody as if they're a visitor. So that's another tool we have for testing. So I'm going to edit this course. And sorry, Peter, but I'm going to delete the free access. And I'm going to add a new one. And I'm going to call this one-time payment. And this is going to be $1,000. And instead of lifetime access, I'm going to give them 1 year of access. And down here, I can start, listing out stuff that you see in pricing tables. And you'll see what that looks like in the front end in a second. And I'm going to add a second one called payment plan. And this one's going to be $300 every month for 4 months. And they get access for 1 year. So what this means is it's going to be a payment plan. At the end of the day, they're going to end up paying a little more because I'm financing them. So they're going to end up paying $1,200 instead of $1,000, but they're spreading it out over 4 payments of $300. So let's do that. And I'm going to add one more, the private coaching upsell. And there's different ways to do upselling. You could do it on the next page, the next screen after they buy this. But I'm just going to, for demonstration today, I'm just going to show you right here how to do it. Instead of a post-purchase upsell, I'm just going to put the offer right in the pricing table. And I'm going to call this course plus coaching. And this is just $10,000 you got to pay to play. It's one-time payment, and it's for 1 year, $10,000. And so now if we go to the front end of the website, we can see what that looks like. So as we go down, you can see how we've got the one-time payment, $1,000 for 1 year of access, or we do the payment plan for 4 months of $300 a month for 1 year of access, or the course plus coaching for $10,000. And if somebody goes to buy, we haven't set up the credit card through Stripe or the PayPal system, but right now that just this is on. But if we had the Stripe set up with our Stripe API keys, the credit card fields would display here. So that's kind of the basics on e-commerce. And is Moore still here? Yep, she is. So I want to get into Q&A a little bit, and whatever you guys want me to show you, there's so much more that Lifter can do. We've got the membership system, we have the e-commerce system. Like if you want to lock down other parts of your website outside of the courses or create bundles of courses, Lifter can do that. If you want to do email engagements where when certain people complete certain things that they get a personalized email, we've got certification, we've got achievement badges. There's really a lot that I can show you, but I kind of want to hear from you, what do you want me to demonstrate? And while you're typing in the Q&A box or in the chat, or you can raise your hand if you like. There's a Zoom feature where you can raise your hand. Let me know what you want to see, and I can walk you through it. But there is a company. This is for Moore. She was asking about Elementor, called Tangible Plugins, and they are in the process of building a robust Lifter LMS Elementor integration. So I'll put a link to them in the chat. So what they're doing, where's my chat? There we are. So this company is building Lifter LMS integration for Elementor, and basically Lifter LMS has a lot of blocks. I can show you what that looks like, and we'll make this not theoretical. So I can build my own like course layout if I want to with the blocks in the new block editor that WordPress has. You can see like there's the Lifter LMS pricing table. There's more down here. The course syllabus, the instructor block, the course continue or progression block, the course information block. You can start moving these around, and what Tangible Plugins is doing is they're converting all these into Elementor modules that you can use, and then giving them settings, and then they're creating. So that's kind of like the beginning, but then they're going to create a way to like really take any piece of Lifter LMS and display it and have settings and controls around it in Elementor. So that's what they're doing. We also have a Beaver builder integration. That's in a free plugin called Lifter LMS Labs, which you can, I'll show you where that is. So if you go into plugins, add new, and you search for that, Lifter LMS Labs. This right here, I'll just install it and activate it. So in here, now there's a new option called Labs. And if you enable the Beaver Builder integration, it's going to allow you to take the Lifter LMS components and use them as modules in Beaver Builder. So that's basically what that does. So if you want to build your own course layout with Beaver Builder, that's how you do it with that. But I think we're going to see some exciting stuff coming from Tangible Plugins that's going to take it a lot further than just kind of converting short codes or blocks into widgets. There's going to be a lot more to it. So Janet asks, would she like to see how an instructor can engage, motivate the students periodically during the course, and would like to also see how the student can complete assessment items as they go through the course. Great. Let's look at that. So we've just kind of been talking about the creation and the selling of the course. But now we're getting into teaching, which is awesome. So let's go into this intake survey lesson right here. And I'm just gonna, just so it can be a little more visually appealing to look at. I'm gonna grab just a video to stick in there. So, all right. So just imagine, if you will, we're in our intake survey and we're taking an assessment. So what I'm going to do is actually go to the builder. The course builder. WordPress has lots of different ways to get to things. So that's what I'm kind of showing you, the different ways. But if we go to the intake survey and we want to add a quiz, let me actually install. Actually, I think I already did install the advanced quizzes add-on. So welcome to your intake assessment. So in this case, I'm not sure what you mean by assessment, if you want a graded quiz or not, but I'm going to do an ungraded assessment. And Cass Bonet on YouTube, we'll get to your question in just a second. So this is just kind of like the welcome message. And we're going to start adding, oh, I guess I didn't activate the quizzes add-on yet. So this is just basic multiple choice. How satisfied are you with your inbound lead volume, since we're making a digital marketing course? Unsatisfied. Let me actually, I'm gonna trash that. I'm gonna activate, let me just get the advanced quizzes add-on activated, just because this comes in handy for this. So we want private areas, since we have our coaching upsell. I'm gonna activate that. Social learning. And for right now, quizzes and assignments. So got those activated. And if we go back, I'm just gonna hit refresh on that. Now when I can add a question, I have all these question types. So I'm actually going to use the scale type. So how satisfied are you on your inbound lead volume? And 0, or we'll say 1. And the maximum is 10. And the minimum label is I'm going out of business. I have too many leads. So that's just a how that works. I'm actually going to give this one a 0-point value. So when you have a 0-point value quiz, you're collecting data, but it's not being graded or scored or counting against some kind of grade. So this is one way that you can do surveys within your course. And I'm going to add another question. Let's say a long answer or a paragraph. Tell me more about your marketing struggles. And I'm just going to add that. Oops. Move this up. Cool. So we've got that. And I'm going to turn this live right here. And then let's look at what that looks like on the front end. I go over here. Let's actually purchase it as if we were a student. And I'm just going to go make myself a coupon code here. So I'm going to create a coupon code for my fake user. This is going to be a discount, any access plan, 100%, publish. So let's say we're buying the course plus coaching for $10,000. And I'm going to enter my coupon code. And you can see how it went from $10,000 to free. All right, so I've just enrolled. And this is what's called a basic pop-up. We use this for gamification, like when people earn badges or certificates or complete certain things. That's what that is. And we'll get into that in a second, because I know one of you on YouTube had a question about how to disable one of those. So if we go into the intake survey, and let's say there was a nice welcome video about submitting your first assessment. So you click the Take Quiz button, and here's that instructional area, and then you can start it. And this is where we created that scale question. How satisfied are you on your inbound lead volume? Maybe I'm a 4. And then I go to the next question, and tell me more about your struggles. So I could type a bunch of stuff and then complete the quiz. And that's going to go for the instructor to then be able to look at. And now we completed that lesson by completing the quiz. So to manage those pop-ups, I'm just going to jump around for a second and show you where those are. So Lifter LMS settings, notifications. There are email notifications, and those pop-up are basic notifications. So if you don't want the lesson complete pop-up, you can open this and where was it? Oh, what did I miss? Oh, just turn that off right there. So that will disable that one. So, and these are cool. So, for example, when somebody purchases your course, like what I just did, this email goes out. It's like a email receipt that goes out with all their data in it and a link for them to go to their dashboard and stuff like that. But Lifter LMS also has this engagement system where you can create emails that go out based on behavior in the LMS or badges, achievement badges, or certifications. So there's lots of options there, and we even have an add-on for text messaging. And there's all kinds of triggering events, like when someone creates a new account, purchases a specific access plan, enrolls in a course, purchases a course, completes a lesson, completes a quiz, passes or fails a quiz, completes a section, course track, enrolls in a membership, purchases a membership. And the REST API that's in development for Lifter LMS, think about all these things. And then with our coming Zapier integration, how you can do things in 1,500 other applications somewhere else if you wanted to. It really opens up a ton of possibilities there. Thank you for the kind words. Click target on YouTube. I appreciate that. Lillian is asking, can you put up a video that is only visible in the course and not on video? Yes. We'll put a link in the chat. So basically the way it works is like this student is enrolled and has access to this course. And before this person purchased this course, you know, they could not get inside this lesson, and therefore this video is protected. So nobody could see this video unless they bought the course. And then the video hosting, in this case, we're using Vimeo. We'll put a link in the chat to the documentation about hosting your videos. But the most popular options are Vimeo Pro, which has the ability for you to have privacy where the video will only ever be playable on your website. So in that case, somebody has to buy this course in order to ever access this video. Basically, that's how that works. But if you have further questions on that, let me know. Happy to answer that. Janet, if you have more questions on what we were just looking at, let me know. Over here in the reporting, I just want to take a look at this. You can see we got one student in here. You can export your reports. We've got, you know, there's not a lot of data in this one, so there's not much to look at here, but we can see Tina is in here. And we can see some data on Tina, what she's recently done in the course. And we can see that Tina's in this course. And this is where Tina's progress is. So this gets to the M, or the management part of LMS, or learning management system, where we're able to manage the learners, see where they're at. She's at 6.25% progress. She completed this quiz, the assessment, and we can see that we can see our answers in here. So we're collecting this data and so on. So if there was stuff in here that needed to be graded by the instructor, there would be an area for the instructor to grade, and then also leave remarks and comments for that person. So when I click start a review here, I could even add remarks to the assessment here, even though it's ungraded. So this is kind of, and then Tina's going to, you know, on her dashboard is going to get notified that there's something new here. So let's get that number up. And then And we're going to save that. So then if we go back as Tina, you can see, she's got some notifications coming in over here. And then on the survey, we can see the previous attempt there and like kind of get into what she said, like if she needs to, read the instructor marks and that kind of thing. So Peter is asking, is Lifter LMS using the regular WordPress sign up login? Yes and no. It's using the WordPress user system. So we have our own like login methods on the front end and the back end. However, if you wanted to use the WordPress login, you could. And they would still, you would just want to redirect them to the student dashboard or wherever else you want to send them once they log in. So they're not parked on the back end of WordPress with like not much they can do. So we have our own login, but it's integrated with the Lifter LMS user system, if that makes sense. But there's people that use like social login plugins and things like that, because it works with WordPress, it's going to work for Lifter as well. So awesome. Yeah, so we're getting a question from Aces English about Portuguese or changing the language. So Lifter LMS, I know Portuguese, we do have a lot of translation on. So you can set up your website so that all this stuff, like for example, in the dashboard where it says these things will actually read in Portuguese. So that's all about changing your website into a different language. We'll post a link in the chat on how to work with use Lifter LMS in a language other than English. So, and I'll show you something else. So Portuguese is pretty high on the we must have a lot of Portuguese translators that are helping translate the various things that are dynamically created on the website. But I believe it's not something I do a lot. I'm not quite sure where the change the language is. But if you're going to have what we see most people doing, if you want to do both, like if you want to have students have the option to take your program in English and in Portuguese, what most people do these days is they build a subdomain for the different languages. So Lifter has the ability to import and export courses with a couple clicks, or you can just clone the website and then just start changing it up. But the reality is with online education, a lot of times it's not about just changing the words, because you often have video files and audio files that need to be delivered in the correct language. So people essentially have a landing page that kind of splits people off if you want the English version or the Portuguese version. And they're similar sites, but they've been worked on so that they're really designed for the the intended language. Awesome. Well, I think we're ready to announce our winner of the $99 giveaway. So while Kathy's drawing that, just want to throw it out there. If anybody has any more questions you'd like me to touch on. And it looks like John Giel is the winner. So congratulations, John. You can shoot us an email at team@lifterlms.com. So congratulations, John. Okay, Janet wants to see certificate creation. So we can look at that. And we are, by the way, working on a new and improved certificate builder system, which is really cool. But let me actually show you something. I'll just stop sharing my screen for a second. I just want to get something up for you. Lifter LMS has a graphics pack. It's part of one of the things you get. I'm just grabbing a copy of it. There we go. Okay. Oh, I'm just trying to find you a find a good one here. One sec. Okay. So, all right. So I was just downloading the Lifter LMS graphics pack here. Let me just get this open. So this has a lot of certificate backgrounds in it, achievement badges. You know, we have some fun and some like kind of standard, you know, trophies and thumbs ups and stuff. But where's the certificates? Diagrams. Oh, the certificates in there. Hold on one second. Let me grab a more current version of that. All right. Bear with me. Let's see. Where is Zoom? There we go. So I'm not sharing my screen, I believe. I'm just having to go get a copy of that. I'll have that download in just a second. All right. There we are. Okay, I'm back. Thanks for your patience. So this is the Lifter LMS graphics pack. You can see I got a bunch of certificate backgrounds here. So I like to start with this when you know, building a certificate. And we also have the you know, there's a lot of achievement badges in here if you want to, you know, use these types of things when people complete certain lessons or complete courses. And you can, of course, get your own designed and branded unique to you if you like. But that's just an example of the stuff in the graphics pack. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to add those certificate backgrounds. So I'm just uploading those to my media library. The graphics pack, Casbonet, is not free. It's it's part of Lifter LMS Power Pack, which we can look at. Let me show you that while this is loading. So it's an individual thing you can get if you want over here. Certificate backgrounds and achievement badges, and it's included in both of our bundles. So if you click on it, this describes kind of all the stuff that's in there. But yeah, some people buy it by itself, or some people get it as part of the one of their bundle investments. So we got all our, there goes the last one. I think it's done. There we go. So if we look in our media library, you know, we have all these certificate backgrounds to choose from. But the first thing we need to do is to build the certificate. So we're going to add a new one. And this is the DCM, digital course, or no, not DCM, DMM, Digital Marketing Mastery, I think is the name of our course. I'm just giving it a title. And over here, I'm going to change the background image to this one. And I'm going to center it. And you see these merge codes? This stuff's really powerful. And this is one of the things that's coming with the our new advanced add-on that we're working on for custom fields, where you're going to have all these merge codes that you can use within the website and collect custom data for your students and merge that in both into the reporting or into the user experience of the student and the front end of the website. There's a lot going on with merge codes, but certificates are a simple illustration of that. So I'm going to do that. And I'm just kind of designing it on the fly a little bit here. Completed. Digital Marketing Mastery on, and then I'm going to merge in the earn date. If we look at this, this is not a great example, but you can see it's slowly coming together here, and you can spend some time with it and add like your signature and all kinds of stuff. And my particular user that I'm using is just called demo, but it would display their first name and last name. And you can start customizing this and really make it look good. So that's the basics of it. And then what you have to do in Lifter is when you create an engagement, whether it's one of those achievement badges that pops up or a certificate or an email that fires, after you create the thing, then you need to add the engagement. Let me go ahead and publish that. So, so the triggering event is that student completes a course, and we're saying when they complete this course, we want to do what? Do we want to send them an email, a certificate, or achievement badge, or send them a text message? We want to do a certificate. And which certificate? This certificate. And do we want it to happen instantly or delay? So somebody was asking on YouTube if you can delay these things. This is where you can delay an email, certificate, or achievement badge pop-up engagement. So that's the basics of building a certificate. Sarah asks, if I design a course using the Blocks standard theme editor, can I convert it to Divi after, or do I have to create in Divi first? I'm not a strong Divi expert, but if Divi, so basically, I'm not sure what Divi calls them in the Divi builder, but let's look at one of them. So there's a couple different ways to do it. Lifter LMS has these blocks. Where are they? Yeah, like right here. So if you want to use those in the Divi builder, you could then all these have short codes. So if you go to the Lifter LMS documentation, like the course progress bar as an example, you can pop that into Divi area via a short code, like all these things like the course continue button and so on. So I would just, I don't want to say 100% because I'm just not a strong Divi user myself, but I know we do have a lot of Divi users using Lifter LMS. So potentially I would ask that question in the Lifter LMS Facebook group, or which we'll put a link to in the chat. Or you can, if you're a customer, you become a customer, just drop that question through to the technical support team, and they'll advise you on that as well. They'll have more of a working knowledge of Divi than me. All right. Peter asks, can you have WooCommerce installed with Lifter LMS, Stripe, and PayPal? Yes. So, but from Lifter's perspective, it needs to know whether you are selling with the Lifter native e-commerce payment gateway or WooCommerce, because Lifter can either work on its own without WooCommerce and do all the selling you ever need to do, or if you want to use Woo to sell your Lifter courses and memberships, you just have to enable the WooCommerce integration on Lifter. But it's not going to hurt anything if you have both setups installed. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming to this training on how to build a website from complete scratch. We just put this thing together pretty quick, but I want to show you how easy it is to get things up for sale. And, you know, once you get revenue going in, you can, it's a lot easier to move faster, potentially hire people to help you. So getting a course up and laying out your curriculum and your offer is really not that difficult. And if you want to pre-sell it, all you have to do is I could put this course up, and over here, in the restrictions, if I gave the course a start date of, let's say, July 1st, I could start pre-selling this even though I haven't created the content yet, which is really cool because you can get revenue coming in and you can get validation that people actually want to buy your course or understand what you are offering. So they could buy it before it's ready. And I mean, you could even start doing some coaching calls and things like that as you develop the curriculum. In fact, if you sell some of these coaching packages, before the course is ready, some of the questions you're getting from your early clients might inform, and you might decide to change up what you had in mind for the curriculum. So just throwing that out there. I could take this website right here and start earning money with it, today. So that's what it's like to set up Lifter LMS. We really only covered about 5% of what Lifter LMS can do. This is pretty basic implementation, but we have a lot of resources on our website. There's a webinar area where we go deep dive on certain topics like social area or private areas for coaching, or the different e-commerce systems, or how to use the new block editor in WordPress. So that can be really helpful if you want to do a deep dive. We've got hundreds of videos on our YouTube channel that you can check out. And also one of the great places is to just go to the Lifter LMS website and click on courses. And I have a much more condensed version of what I taught you today in the Lifter LMS Quick Start course. So you can go sign up for this free course and it will show you essentially how to build what I just built a little quicker. And so you can look at that as well. That's a great place to get started. So let me fix my camera. 1 second. There we go. Can you all see me again? I think you probably can. Lillian, thank you very much for the kind words. I appreciate it. I just want to thank everybody for coming. Thank you, Kathy, for helping put this together. If you have any questions about Lifter LMS, we are here for you. You can just shoot us an email at team@lifterlms.com. You can, there's the chat on the website as well. We're kind of easy to track down. So if we can answer anything else about what you're looking for to see if Lifter's a good fit for your project, let us know. When you do invest in Lifter LMS, you get great technical support. We're known in the industry for having incredible technical support. We have the usual support tickets that you can submit, but we also have what we call liftoff sessions. So your first, no matter which product you buy, for your first 4 weeks, you get access to a weekly live call with screen sharing and instruction designed to remove friction and help you get unstuck or answer questions that you have, because people have a lot of questions usually in the first 30 days. So we want to make that easy for you to get help. If you decide to invest at our highest level in the Infinity Bundle, that comes with access to our weekly live mastermind call, which is a great tool for getting live technical support, but also tapping the expertise and knowledge of other course builders and coaches and consultants like you that are putting these projects together. So that Lifter LMS Office Hours Mastermind is a great resource if you decide to jump on that. So I'm going to close this out. If you want to get the replay, we'll be sending it to you via email. But thanks again, everybody, for coming. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.